merge. Okay. Excellent. Let's do this. Okay. So there was a report that Git Patch Stack's integration wasn't being detected as a merge anymore for GitHub. And we're going to be doing this with Bitbucket, so we should pay attention and see how this is playing out in Bitbucket as well. Let's do this. Prismistic Android. Pull requests. Okay, so here's my 3 PRs. So let's pick one of these. Let's pick the first one, which is this one. Okay, what do we see here? Okay, so we have 63832B7 is the commit that's up on the server right now. And if we look, let's make sure we have all the updated state from the remote. Okay, so we have our patch stack here in our Git tree. So we can see our patch stack right here. Here's this fix inverted logic in pose problem getter. That's B12E4B0. Okay, so that's the SHA on our patch stack. And if we look at the fix invert, we have 63832V7, which matches the remote. So we can see that's an origin PSRR. We can also see that that local matches as well. Hey, Mad Lad, how's it going? Good to see you too. We are taking a quick hiatus into looking into a bug that was reported in one of our open source tools that I maintain. And people are reporting, or one person reported, I guess, to be clear, that when they integrate a patch, GitHub is not seeing that that integration is equal to a merge. They're seeing it as a close of the PR rather than a merge, which is not super critical of an issue, but I don't understand why it's happening. And so I figured, since I'm about to integrate something, I might as well look. I'm going to integrate into Bitbucket because that's where the client's hosting code is, in Bitbucket. But we can see what happens there in relation to SHAs. My suspect is that I think that how we are now doing the integration in Patch Stack, it may be not integrating the patch that's in this branch. It may be integrating the patch from the stack, which is a different SHA. Either that, or we're like updating this and that. I don't know. Let's go take a look real quick. Okay, so let's detach real quick. Let's Git Patch Stack tmux. The project is called Git Patch Stack. If you go to gitps.sh, here's the website for it. It's a tool that is an extension for Git that lets you work in a managing patches in a stack rather than worrying about branches. So it kind of hides the branches behind the scenes. If we tmux attach and go to our current project, you can see this when I do GPS. That's the command line tool for Git Patch Stack. GPS ls, you can see it dumps out a stack of patches right now. So we have fix inverted logic in pose problem getter, fix bone coloring in incomplete and empty frames, remove debounce and add sample in correct places. And then we have a work in progress patch to figure out some tests that Anthony broke. So that's just some work in progress thing. But these are all things that I completed yesterday and are ready to be integrated. And so before I integrate them, I want to just go and make sure that I fully understand how the integration is happening and why they might not be being detected as PR closes or PR merges in Bitbucket or GitHub. So to do that, I just verified that the SHA, what the SHAs are. So on the remote, this patch, the SHA is 63832B7. That SHA is also the same if we look in this project. That's the same SHA and commit for the local and remote branch. However, our patch in our patch stack is a different SHA for the same patch because of the way things work. So the question is when we do an integrate of this patch, what's happening? Are we integrating patch B12E4B0 or are we integrating the 63832B7? And so we're about to go take a look at that in Git Patch Stack's code base, which is all Rust. So let's go, if I could type today. All right, let's go to, am I not in the right place? No, I'm not in the right place. Okay, here we go. I think I have the latest. Yep, I got the latest. Let's do commands, integrate. Okay. So here's our integrate command. We get in our patch index or patch range. We get a force flag, keep branch, branch name optional if they want to specify branch name, and a color flag. So we parse the patch index range. Okay, and then we just map a bunch of errors to this. So we need to look at the, this is like a higher level layer. And so this is the like real call right here that does the work. This layer just does error mapping. Okay. And so here's a quick summary. This is like one of the most complicated commands in this project. So this validates that the patch indexes are within bounds. It adds patch IDs to any commits that are missing patch IDs. Patch IDs are just a comment inside the Git commit that is a unique identifier. So a UUID that's added in there with the PSID prefix so that we can identify a patch across cherry picks of a commit, basically. And we prompt for reassurance. We get fetch. If it's not a force, we figure out the associated branch. We verify that it has the associated branch. We check to make sure patches match between the stack and the remote. We execute hook to verify PR approval or CI status. And then we replace the request review branch. And then we verify isolation and we publish patches. Okay. So what I would suspect is this guy. Replace the request review branch. So this guy is going to take a branch. It's going to take in the repo, the starting and ending patch index, and it's going to take in the given branch name option. And that is going to create a branch from that. Patch series, unique branch names, give branch names. Last commit, cherry pick. So it's going to cherry pick all of those. Okay. So, yeah, so this is going to, if we go back to our code base real quick. Yeah, here. Okay, so what's going to happen is when we say we want to integrate this patch here, this B, which is identified by this commit SHA B12 E4 B0. When we do that, it's going to figure out that that patch is associated to this branch called PSRR fix inverted logic in post problem getter. And it's going to figure out that that's associated to a local branch named that, as well as the remote branch that's origin PSRR. Because we've previously requested review for this patch, which created this branch and pushed it up to the remote, right? And did the association to the remote. So when we do this integrate though, it's going to actually cherry pick this patch into this branch again, locally. Okay. And then, so the SHA will be different in this local branch than what's on the remote server at that point in time. And then we do this verify isolation. We do this publish the patch from local patch branch up to patch stack upstream. So let's see. We get patch branch name, we get patch branch ref, current patch stack branch name, current patch stack branch upstream name, current patch stack remote name, remove the refs, current patch stack upstream branch name, replace, then we do a push. We publish the patch from the local patch branch up to the patch stack upstream. Okay. So this is going to push git push origin PSRR to main. So this is actually going to do the integrate next. But this is going to do the integrate. So like this, we need to add a step in here if we want to do this, or we just need to change this basically. Because what's happening now is we're going to do a push of this to main. Like this. And that's going to do the integration. And that technically is fine. Like it's integrated. But Bitbucket and GitHub probably won't detect this, because I assume that they're detecting it based on SHA matching and not based on the contents of the patch itself. And therefore, this is going to be a problem. Now, we could work around this by adding a thing in here that would push PSRR whatever branch to PSRR whatever branch with the origin or the remote, right? In this case, it would be origin, right? If we did something like this first, then the SHA would match on the remote as the SHA that we are integrating into main. And therefore, GitHub and Bitbucket should be able to detect that the integration occurred and close the PR appropriately. Now, this has some downsides, right? Like when we push and update this, it's going to fire another continuous integration build, for example. Another CI build. Which will fail if likely because branch cleanup is common. So generally, people will configure their source control provider to close the branch once they've integrated a pull request. And so if that happens, it can actually, cause your CI to fail, which just got kicked off a second ago, basically. And GPS takes care of cleaning up branches for you by default as well. So that's another scenario where that could fail. So another option would be, instead of integrating, what would this be? Instead of updating the local branch, from instead of updating the local branch from the patch or patches, the specified patch or patches, and then doing an integrate, we could simply validate that the patch or patches in the stack match the patch or patches in the local and remote branch, and then integrate from the local branch. This should result in the SHA that the remote knows about and the SHA that we have locally matching without triggering an extra useless, oops, publish the patch from the local branch up to the patch. What did I screw up here? We could simply validate the patches in the stack match the patches in the local and remote branch, and then integrate from the local branch. This should make it so that the SHA on the remote branch matches the local branch's SHA, and which we would integrate. In turn, making it match, making GitHub or Bitbucket see the, hopefully, see the integration as a merge. This does have the downside of potentially missing changes in the comment of a patch, because currently the changes in the comment aren't compared as part of the patch comparison. Only the diff is compared at the moment, so it may also result in needing to update the patch diffing to include comments. Okay, cool. All right, so that's the exploration. We can see this happen now, because just to go through with it and see it not do what we expect, or if we do an integrate of 0, yeah, it prompts me, yes, I want to integrate this change. Cool. Now if we go here, right now, we can see that this state is still open. If we look at our tree, we can see the SHA in the branch has been updated. And we can see that looks like we're integrating from, was this the same 295cc2d? I think that was it. So either we integrated directly from our patch stack, we integrated the patch itself, which is possible too. I'll have to look at that. But yeah, cool. Okay. That is progress on that issue though. For now, we will just close this ourselves. We'll just decline with comment saying manually integrated this PR. Cool. Let's double check this one when we do this one. Okay, so we're going to do GPS. Let's just refresh RR, fix bone coloring. So that'll update that pull request for us. We can see it right here. And that's got that patch. And if we look at the tree right now, we can see we have fix remove debounce is there, and then we have this one right here, fix bone coloring. So 9776, and we have 9E8. So if we GPS int fix bone coloring, yeah, so this got rebased. So this changed. But it is collapsed. Cool. Okay. No, the more manually integrated this. It's too hot. Gotta get rid of this sweatshirt. Be right back. Okay.